why, by the way, you had Joseph preferring Ephraim in the Genesis book, because Joshua is ultimately going to emerge as the leader. And Ephraim is going to be the, I mean, most people, if you go around to religious people and you say, who's Ephraim? They'll look at you like you're nuts. They wouldn't even have heard of him. And yet, the fact of the matter is that Ephraim is the principal tribe of the north, and there's hardly much else up there but Ephraim. And has the best places, Shechem and all the other places are in the, what are called the highlands of Ephraim. And Joshua, when he retires and gets in state, he retires into the highlands of Ephraim. He's a northern leader, an Israelite leader, the same way Hur is a southern descendant of Judah, and he's a Judean or Judahite leader. So here you have everything symbolized. Moses, Aaron, and Hur are on the hill. When Moses got tired and his arms got too heavy, they put a stone under him, and then Aaron and Hur would take one hand and the other and support it, and therefore he'd be able to, the battle would go well. And there was an altar built there, by the way, too, wherever this place was. So another of these stories probably associated with a shrine, an altar or something. But the point is, it's all symbolized. The priesthood, the northern tribes and the southern tribes all have their representatives in this episode. You know? Everyone is represented. You follow what I'm trying to tell you? So most people just take this as historical. You can't take this as historical. I mean, I'm sure there was an Exodus, and I'm sure things happened, but this is the poetic view of the Exodus. This is the poet's view. And this is also symbolic, because everyone's playing their role. Joshua can't win unless Moses has the staff of God. Moses can't have the staff of God unless Hur, the Judean tribes, help him on one side, and the priesthood, Aaron, helps him on the other. And so that's all symbolic. 18, out of the blue, Jethro appears. I'm not even sure he was called Jethro the first time we met him, was he? He was called Ruel, as I recall. Now he's Jethro. Moses' father-in-law, and this is the point I pointed out earlier. He brought Moses' wife, Zipporah, to the camp after she had been dismissed. What do you mean after she had been dismissed? No one ever told her she was dismissed. So there's another lectern in the text. They're not trying to find them, they just jump out. So, what does that go back to? It seems to go back to the bloody circumcision episode where God met him on the road and was going to kill him. But who's the him? Moses or the child? Well, obviously God was never going to kill Moses. That's just ridiculous. That's what the text looks like, but it's garbled. How would I know that? It's garbled. I don't even have to even think twice. Now, a fundamentalist or someone who takes the text very seriously is going to anger me for saying that. But I can't help it. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. I mean, the text is fractured at that point, and this is a meaning that has no sense. But there is sense that can be made, and that is there was a problem, according to the original stories. What happened to them? Maybe they just got some scrolls got damaged and in the transmission, and people have to piece them together the way we piece manuscripts together. Even what I'm doing, I lose a page, or I don't white in something, or I don't, and it's fractured, you know. And who can know what was supposed to have been said there? So here's a case in point where this probably goes back to the fact that, and she has 2 sons. You see, we never heard the birth of the second son. She has 2 sons. I told you the second son, but the text didn't tell you that. And I think that all that about the second son is in that episode that is, you know, fractured earlier on about God coming to kill him, and I'm sure it was there, but it's gone. So they have to put a little narrational comment after she'd been dismissed to make the thing at least flow a little bit, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. And okay, Gershom we've had named before because I was a stranger in a strange land, and the second, Eleazar, we didn't hear about him before. Goes, the God of my father, help me. Eleazar means to help. He delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. So Jethro is in the camp, and he's watching how Moses does things here. And he also sacrifices. He's a big supporter of Moses, and he's a kind of a Sinai priest of some kind, and he watches Moses administering justice, 13 to 27, and he's got some advice for him, because like all fathers-in-law, he doesn't think his son-in-law is doing a very good job. And this is very human. He tells them, look, choose people from capable, God-fearing men, trustworthy, line 21, and over the leaders of the thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens to administer justice. So Moses took his father-in-law's advice, and that's how they would administer justice for all time. So Jethro gets credit here for innovating the Judean legal system. That's the way we do things in Judea, and I'm sure this is what we have reflected here often is the situation in the Davidic period. Now, it has been said that Abraham is a reflection of David. We unfortunately don't even have time to read the Samuel books. I wish we did. Because in the Samuel books, you'll see that a lot of things Abraham does, David does, like going to the Philistines and things like that. And it's like Abraham is sort of a David projected backwards in time. That he's like, you know, when you see an image on a screen, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Abraham is like a David projected backwards by the writers. So the law here, as you'll get it here, that's going to be revealed, is not a desert law here. What is it? It's an agricultural settled law. Well, you can't have an agricultural settled law from the slave people who've only lived in the desert. This reflects long years of practice in a settled situation. That is, it reflects at least the Davidic kingdom, if not the divided kingdoms. This is the law, obviously, that they were observing in the Davidic double monarchy period that followed that. And David's around 1000 BC, and the north and south, the two kingdoms split up around 900 BC. So somewhere this kind of law bubbled out with more stuff in Deuteronomy that was a later second law that was found in the temple around 600 AD. Anyway, they're 3 months out, chapter 19, and Moses went up to God, line 3. And God says, you'll be a kingdom of priests, and I'm going to choose you for my very own. Okay, we've heard that quite a bit. Hold them in readiness, line 11, for the third day the Lord will descend from the mountain of Sinai in the sight of all the people. So this is a very big event. And there's going to be a loud trumpet blast, 16, and all the people will tremble. And Moses leads them out to meet God at the bottom of the mountain. And the thundering was louder and louder. That's like Zeus here, isn't it? Thunder god. It's a thunder god. At this point, it's going to be changed into a monotheistic god, but it's a mountain.